Hey guys, so I'm going to do my read aloud on Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This book can be used from students from 3rd grade all the way to 8th grade. Personally, I would use this in a 6th or 7th grade language arts classroom as a group read, or possibly an independent read depending on the students that you have. This book is about a 10-year-old named August. He's going to be going to 5th grade. He's been homeschooled all his life and will be going to middle school. This book, 5th grade, starts in middle school. So according to his parents, it's the perfect time for him to begin going to school like everybody else instead of homeschooling. Okay, one of the first things I like to do is read the back cover. If we go to the back of the book, it has quotes. One of the quotes that stands out is the white one on the screen. It says, "I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking is probably worse." So that gives a generic description of what the book is going to be about and what August is going to be explaining in our chapter book. So let's get started. It's Wonder by R.J. Palacio. When we start the book, it starts off with a poem. It says, "Doctors have come from distant cities just to see me stand over my bed, disbelieving what they're seeing. They say I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation, and as far as they can see, they can offer no explanation." So I already can tell many doctors have seen him and have no actual explanation. It's just defect, but maybe they're trying to help him. And I know he has had surgeries, so he has many doctors coming to try to give him some kind of surgery to help him out. So part 1, August. Fate smiled and destiny laughed as she came to beat my cradle. Natalie Merchant. Wonder. Ordinary starts off. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff that like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. So he kind of tells us he feels ordinary. He does ordinary things like playing. He eats ice cream. He rides his bike. He likes to go to the park and play. But he's scared. He thinks that kids are going to be running away from him as they see his face. As it may not be a normal face. Okay, so he doesn't want other runnings away. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. So again, he feels ordinary, but others are not helping the situation. And he does not like that others look away. So looking away is one of the only reasons that he doesn't feel ordinary. Others don't see him as ordinary. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I know how to pretend I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me, Mom, Dad, Via. Actually, I take that back. Via's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do something rude. Like for instance, one time in the playground some older kids make noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself. But Via heard and she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does, but if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needs to protect me as much. And Mom and Dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August. By the way, I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking is probably worse. So let's stop right here. Let's stop and think. Starting to talk to your partner. Tell them a time when this may have happened to you. Did somebody look at you weird? Maybe saw something and looked away quickly? How does that make you feel? Take about 30 seconds to talk to your partner about a situation like that. And then we would stop and discuss a little bit. And then I have another question. It says, what would you or could you do to help August? And that would be a random, actually it's a popsicle stick. And then discuss those different situations. What could you do or what would you do to help a friend like August in their situation? So why I didn't go to school. Next week I start 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I am pretty much totally and completely petrified. Petrified. These are context clues. He's never been to school before. I wonder how he feels. Petrified. Maybe scared? What do you think? People think I haven't gone to school because of the way I look, but it's not that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 since I was born. The bigger ones happened before I was even 4 years old, so I don't remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries every year since then. Some big, some small. And because I'm a little for my age, and I have some other medical mysteries that doctors never really figured out, I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it was better if I didn't go to school. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago, and I probably won't have any more for another couple of years. So here he tells us the real reason why he was homeschooled. He has had 27 surgeries. He's only 10 years old. But now he's much stronger, as he says right here. Mom homeschools me. She used to be a children's book illustrator. She draws really great fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Bia. Bia. She must be an older sister, I think. She is very protective. And if Mom's taking care of him and Bia, must be a sister. I can't say I always wanted to go to school because that wouldn't be exactly true. What I wanted was to go to school, but only if I could be like every other kid going to school. Have lots of friends and hang out after school and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends now. Christopher is my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies, and since they've always known me the way I am, they're used to me. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time. But then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. That's more than an hour away from where I live in North River Heights, which is the top tip of Manhattan, and Zachary and Alex started going to school. It's funny, even though Christopher's the one who moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They have all these new friends now. If we bump into each other on the street, they're so nice to me, though. They always say hello. So it's nice to know he has some good friends. Even though some moved away, they still talk. So that's awesome. I have other friends too, but not as good as Christopher and Zach and Alex were. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when we were little. But Joel, Emma, and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And of course, I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big of a deal about birthday parties. What do you think? I think birthday parties are good. It gets you communicating with other friends. And so he's worried. He wants to make friends, but he doesn't want his appearance to affect that. Let's continue. How I came to life. I like when Mom tells this story because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, Via and I just start cracking up. So when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mom had had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park. Mom's expression that there was no reason to run any special tests. So if Mom had her 4 years before, she's 4 years older, she must be 14. But walk in the park. I wonder what that means. So walk at the park, there was no reason to run any special tests. That must, okay. Must have been different. A lot easier maybe. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realized there was something wrong with my face. But they didn't think it was going to be bad. They told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. There were 2 nurses in the delivery room the night I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mom said, did not seem all that nice or sweet. She had very big arms, and here comes the funny part. She kept farting. Like she'd bring Mom some ice chips and then fart. She'd check Mom's blood pressure and fart. Mom says it was unbelievable because the nurse never even said excuse me. Meanwhile, Mom's regular doctor wasn't on duty that night. So Mom got stuck with this cranky kid doctor she and Dad nicknamed Dookie after some old TV show or something. They didn't actually call him that for his face. But Mom says that even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came up out of Mom's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mom didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nice nurse immediately rushed me out of the room. Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the video camera, which broke into a million pieces. And then Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going. So they rushed out of the room. I wonder how Mom felt. Rushed out of the room. Dad dropped the camera, ran after them. That must have been very intensive. Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going, but the farting nurse put her very big arms on Mom and kept her down on the bed. They were practically fighting because Mom was hysterical and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm. And then they both started screaming for the doctor. But guess what? He had fainted right on the floor. Wow. Fainted. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing him with her foot to get him to wake up, yelling at him the whole time. What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you? Get up, get up. And then all of a sudden, she let out the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of farts. Mom thinks it was actually the farts that finally woke the doctor up. Anyway, when Mom tells the story, she acts out of all the parts, including the farting noises, and it is so funny. Mom says the farting nurse turned out to be a very nice woman. She stayed with Mom the whole time, didn't leave her side even after Dad came back, and the doctors told him how sick I was. Mom remembers exactly what the nurse whispered in her ear when the doctor told her I probably wouldn't live through the night. Everyone born of God overcometh the world. And the next day, after I had lived through the night, it was that nurse who held Mom's hand when they brought her to meet me for the first time. Mom says by then they had told her all about me. She had been preparing herself for the seeing of me. But she says when she looked down into my tiny mushed-up face for the first time, all she could see was how pretty my eyes were. Mom is beautiful, by the way, and Dad is handsome. Via is pretty, in case you were wondering. So that's an interesting story. It tells us about how he was born and what happened when Mom saw him. She didn't see him as different. She still thought he was a beautiful baby. So I would continue with Christopher's house and have different discussions with our students.